Hello everybody, welcome back to FTL Mods Season 3. Last episode we did the... I don't know yet, because I'm slotting this in whenever I get the time. But these are the Lanius Destroyers, created by Federation Scum, who once again has joined me for this one. Say hello.
Hey everybody.
Alright, so the first one in the group is the Reaper. Alright, give it to us. What's the story?
The story for the Reaper is probably a fairly bit complex, and you actually there's an event in here where you can actually encounter the aftermath of the story. But essentially, the crew of this ship had a moment where they kind of realized just how fucked up everything is when they're killing people for metal. So they gone AWOL pretty much, and this is the ship they took with them, one of the fabled Lanius destroyer class vessels.
Okay. Noticing this one has artillery to it. It's new for you, I think.
Sort of. This was actually my first experiment with artillery, and it's basically more of a supportive artillery than offensive, like you would expect on a ship like this.
It's flak kind of thing, right?
Yeah. The shrapnel artillery basically fires 10 small flak that do no damage to the ship, but can pierce one shield layer and causes breaches.
Alright. So kind of like the plasma throwers, but instead of fire, we're dealing with breaches.
Sorta, except the breaches are guaranteed rather than having there be a chance.
So there's a
Because
100% breach chance.
Yes, because otherwise the thing is, since it's an artillery, it needs to have some kind of thing going for it to give it long-term use. Otherwise, it will quickly fall to the wayside.
That is true, but looking at the Rock B artillery, I don't think it's a guarantee there, just like 80% or something. I mean, with this one, if you get extremely lucky, you can have like 10 breaches on a ship. I don't think anything's going to come back from that.
But then again, remember it's flak, which means it could miss entirely or even hit the same room, which means it won't be spreading across the ship.
That, and you have to make sure shields are down when it fires.
Yep. Aside from that, though, what's interesting more people is what is that weapon that it's equipped with, and that is the basically just a chain variant of the Burst Laser 2, which is everybody's favorite weapon in the game, and this is pretty much no exception, except for the fact that it takes so long to charge when it starts up.
Well, I just had the artillery fire. Damn. That was good. Pretty widespread to it, apparently.
Yeah, it's supposed to hit the entire ship, more or less.
I mean, if it fires pretty well and does ample damage, you're pretty much capable of just waiting it out and waiting for the crew to die. I mean, I've got a breach in oxygen, breach in their weapons. They're not going to do anything anymore.
It often depends on what it hits and what their crew allotment is. Like if they have NGs, they can easily repair the breaches, and especially if it hasn't breached any important rooms.
True. But once you see that flak hit, you'll know there's no coming back from this one, I think. It's going to take a while, so maybe I'm just going to skip ahead. Pretty sure I'm not going to do a full run with these anyway, like the other mods you did.
We'll see. You usually do like 3 sectors, so there's still some room to go.
A lot of people trying to hack my stuff now.
Yeah, I just remember those were made by Raven. I think his name is Rav.
Yeah. The alternate rebel colors things.
Yeah, he also did alternate color schemes for the older modeled rebel ships, which are basically reused Federation ships, if we're to be believed.
Well, so far it's going pretty well. Chain laser, so what's the stats on that? Pretty much the same as the normal one, or is there anything different to the charge times?
Are you talking like the charge time on the artillery, or the laser, or the chain laser?
I'll have a look at it. It's probably going to be easier. 15 seconds. Charge cap 6 seconds. I believe the usual chain laser was start at 16 and went down to 6 or something. I don't know.
7. It started with 16 and then went down to 7 seconds.
This one starts off a bit quicker but ends up a little slower then.
Maybe. Actually, it's better all around, really. But to counter the fact that you can actually encounter this in the wild, like you can get it as a reward, or find it in the store, but it's really expensive to buy or get. You know, it's like 100 scrap. So if you don't have that kicking around, too bad.
It is a pretty good weapon, so.
You skipped a lot of beacons.
I know, with like crappy pathfinding. My hatred to mine drones. Gotta love it.
Oh, they have a freaking defense drone that just intercepted all your missiles or something? Or was it just the Lido?
Though it's just Toledo. It's the mine drone that's more annoying to me. It's like, yeah, if you can't take it out quick enough, you're just gonna be dead, because your shields aren't gonna work or anything.
Could be worse. It could be a missile drone that can actually systems.
That's true as well. Well, the drone's offline, so. Alright. So far it's going quite well. It's kind of like, you know, just a Kestrel 3-shot thing and a missile to start off with.
It's, for the most part, yeah. One can also consider it to be similar to the Federation cruiser that it replaces, but then again, it's artillery. It's not really the be-all artillery that the artillery beam is like.
Yeah, still, I mean, your artillery leans more towards killing off crew if you have the time. Just suffocating everyone with tons and tons of breaches is probably more beneficial than destroying them with a beam.
That, the thing is, it's an incomplete set. You can augment it either by getting a teleporter for a Lanius boarding crew, or you can use a hacking module, since with breaches all over the ship, you can quickly drain oxygen out of those rooms.
Would mean you have to keep oxygen online, though.
Yeah, but with breaches, it's not like they're going to be getting their oxygen back.
No, that's true, but, you know. If there's a room left that isn't breached, they're gonna have a room to sit in.
It's all about deliberation.
So, the shrapnel artillery doesn't do crew damage, right? I mean, I just saw 2 of them hitting a dude and he didn't die.
Nope, it does no damage whatsoever. As far as I know.
No, it doesn't look like it. I don't think he's gonna make it. Yeah, there we go. Man, that's a lot of scrap I miss out on this sector. Oh well. Right. So you mentioned a story. What's the actual story then? The fact that they're wondering about what they were doing in life for.
More like they kind of had... It's kind of difficult to explain because I don't remember the exact terminology, but it's kind of like that moment where you look at your hands after you commit murder and you're like, what have I done? And the thing, it's hard to say whether the crew is just like a team of rookies or if they finally just woke up from all the killing they've done over the years as part of a Lanius fleet. Because the thing about the Lanius destroyers, as part of the lore I'm going with, is that they are rare. You only ever see them in a massive, overwhelming Lanius incursion. You never see them go out one-on-one, just like bombers and scouts that you normally see in an abandoned sector.
Yeah.
So they are always tasked with taking out heavily fortified locations, like colonies that are just too stubborn to give up. And obviously that means that they're going to be responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, if not millions. So this crew woke up to that fact, and they were divided on that issue, and essentially went AWOL to contemplate it. And when you discover them, they're in the midst of this, and what you do essentially in the event determines like what kind of outcome results. Like, is it a peaceful outcome? Do they come to terms with it, or do they just finally, give into their division, start murdering each other and causing trouble for you too, or you just leave them to their fate, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It shows a more emotional side to the Lanius to, show that they're not exactly just cold-blooded killing machines that love to eat metal because, nom nom, fuck all the other guys.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's an interesting take on things. Something that hasn't been done yet, which is always interesting. How much is it? It's 35. All right. Well, as far so good. I'm guessing these ships also don't have 30 hull strength.
No, the destroyers have 25, which isn't really that much lower per se. I mean, they're pretty durable, all things considered.
They're still not full-on cruisers, so it makes sense to have a little bit less.
Destroyers are usually in real life, destroyers are technically faster than cruisers. But their lighter armor makes them, I would supposedly think, weaker in direct ship-to-ship combat. But they also have battleship-like armament on their small hulls. So in this case, they have the same capabilities as a cruiser, but they're just weaker for, being a small
standpoint. Yep. Means you're pretty much almost done, unless you got 4 more ship types planned.
I think I've done enough destroyers for this pack. There are actually 3 more after this one. I kind of get a bit obsessed with the destroyer because it was like the one. I mean, after the frigate, I decided to take it a step further, and then I randomly came upon the idea of doing a destroyer, and it actually went through many, many revisions before I finally came up on a design I actually was satisfied with.
That was weird. Notice when I get the NG cruiser thingy escape and then move on to the next fight, you're going to see something weird happen there. Because yes, for those wondering, he is following me live on Steam for this.
Yeah, I'm about like 15 seconds behind, but I can still see what's going on. For right now, I see you're fighting a pirated Slug Sea scout.
The pirate interceptor? With the pike's beam and...
Yeah, the pike's beam and that... whatever the hell that ion weapon's called.
Oh, you're not that far behind then. Did you see what happened with the chain laser there? The thing was firing. I jumped away while it was firing and I shot the other 2 shots at the next ship. It was like kind of having a pre-igniter. That was weird.
That's an interesting glitch. Or maybe it's not a glitch. Maybe it's just a really interesting timing.
Could be. I've seen it happen with artillery multiple times, but never with normal weapons. Alright. Right. Got a heavy scatter up now, finally. Not that it's great, but it's better than the missile launcher, because it doesn't consume missiles.
Heavy scatter 2. Boy, that's a big-ass weapon.
Hits for 3 hull damage and I think 2 system damage. Yeah. Takes 2 power though.
It's still a decent compliment.
It's going quite well.
The one thing that people are probably going to appreciate the most of this ship is just the chain laser. I mean, once it finally is fully charged, it's a great way to keep an enemy under pressure, especially in the early sectors. Especially when in Captain's Edition, when they try to run away and they're about to like immediately jump out of the system as soon as it says that.
Yeah, I still managed to let one get away. Oh well. I'm gonna beef up the artillery. I'm pretty sure that's gonna... Hey, it's a normal chain laser. Ha! Can I get that? I wonder. 34. So that's for 10. So that's for 30. Yeah, we can. Cool. Double chain lasers.
It's not a bad combo.
A chain laser 2 and a normal 1.
Perhaps a risky thing, considering that normally you're supposed to adapt to weapons you find. But whatever. It's not like you're going to play a full game anyway. Might as
Nah.
well go chain all the way.
Alright, that's another sector done. I'm gonna beef up that artillery soon, though. It's kind of handy, actually. I mean, in the early stage, the artillery is low, but when it fires, you know it's gonna hit. And in late games, you can beef it up, but you got the question, am I gonna get shields down in time, yes or no? Kind of interesting take, I think. Socialize.
For the most part.
What? This is new. You catch Lanius while it's absorbing some random scrap items. This could still have been of use, but you decided to let it slide this time. Lanius normally just eats modified Federation rations enriched with minerals, and these seem to disgust the being quite a bit. Huh, that's the first time talking to crew actually got me a downside.
That's happened to me before, and I see that you decided to go into quarantine sector, so now we're in the really creepy areas now.
People said I should go to them more. I don't know why, because I avoid everything anyway.
The quest marker, of course, they put it in an isolated beacon, because why not?
So let's see how both chain lasers play together. Not bad. They seem to follow, yeah. The normal chain laser is a bit slower than the chain laser 2. We'll see how it looks like at the end of things. Come on, yeah. Artillery made it in. Of course, it happens on a slug ship.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's the biggest bane of the Lanius ship with a breaching artillery. The slug ships are the ultimate counter.
But it will be great against the ice ships, which I personally hate with a passion.
Yep. But again, AI ships are almost always screwed against Lanius ships in general, just because the Lanius are the check-in made for them.
Especially with a teleporter. Alright, so it seems like getting rid of Lido isn't really that good of an idea, because getting rid of that means you have nothing to do for the first 16 seconds.
For the most part, the Lido's mainly just there as an emergency weapon, in case something goes really wrong. One weakness of this ship, and which will become more apparent with the 4th Lanius destroyer, is that if something hits the weapons room early on while your chain laser's trying to get going, you're going to be, what's the right word I'm looking for? You're going to get, oh my goodness, I can't remember the term. You're just gonna get stopped in your tracks. We'll just go with that, because I can't remember the term at this very moment.
So is it that one? Looking at the charge bar for the artillery, looks like it doesn't go all the way up. No. So I'm guessing charge time is, let me guess, 35 on phase 1? Or 32?
To be honest, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to check, because I know I don't think I made it the exact same as the for one of my other artilleries. I'm just gonna take a peek. The base cooldown for the shrapnel artillery is 26 seconds, so let's see. So that would probably be like 6 or 7 seconds higher than a level 4, or level 1. I mean, so it's probably about 32 seconds, 33 seconds starting out.
Yeah, plus 25%, I think. Yeah. See, the problem then is it becomes hard to note this when the artillery is going to fire, Considering you have to time it with shields being down and it just fires somewhere halfway when the bar is fully charged.
Yeah, but then again, once it's fully has a full charge, it's like 13 seconds to fire this thing, which
I
is
know,
not.
but you can't well, you can't say, okay, it's gonna fire right now. Usually, when it's full, you know it's gonna fire. Now it fires when the charge bar is almost halfway full.
Nope, that's the trial and error with this thing. I think I probably should just make a custom bar for it at some point, but then again, there's like 4 different artilleries in this mod.
Well, I mean, Captain's Edition solves it elegantly by just having one bar but with different markings on it. Like, you got one marking for when the first artillery fires, one marking for when the second fires, third marking for the third one fires, etc., etc. I'm guessing that would go pretty well then.
Yeah. I would have recommended going for like more engine power starting out than the extra shields. But then again, the unfortunate reality is that you skipped a lot of beacons in the first one because of really shitty pathfinding and how they put all those beacons down to the south, because literally that's the only way you can take out. You can't just go north and expect to meet at the beacon.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen all that much. At least we got rid of the impossible sectors to leave. Used to be able that the exit was just unreachable.
That's true.
Like, yeah, every beacon needs to connect to at least 2 other beacons, and then you ended up with things like triangles that you couldn't get out of. Like, yep, good job there.
Trials and tribulations.
Mm. Alright.
They love to set fires on your ship, apparently.
Yeah, and that for a small bomb, impressive.
Be careful, though.
Yeah, they're running.
They're hacking that clone bay. If any of your crew goes down, it's not. They're gone for good.
Jump imminent. Alright, here we go again. I'm just gonna accept this one.
He took like only 7 seconds, or 10 seconds, just about to get to that jump or imminent status.
Well, that's the thing. Some are just a timer and not. Well, some are on a timer. Some actually do require them to charge an FTL like you would, depending on their engine power and stuff like that. A lot of them are actually on a timer. Oh well.
I guess to give that FTL hacking augment some kind of use, but then I'm wondering like why not just completely ignore it at all? Because like it's like nobody's really gonna bother with it if they can't find it.
Which raises an interesting question. Does it work when it's timed?
I don't know. Maybe.
I suppose you could test it out by loading up events in mod testing environment, but yeah. The same thing with the question if the manning of artillery on the flagship does anything. Man, those misses.
Yeah, I always did wonder that. Did the crew on the flagship actually man the artillery?
We have a manning station, but we don't know if it actually does anything. I suppose if you want to test it quite quickly, you could just do it with an auto ship and level 3 sensors, then hack one of them and see if the charge time changes.
Worth a shot.
I don't think those weapons are going to come online again. About bloody time as well.
You know, one thing I just remembered about when I'm seeing this rock ship, one of my other playthroughs, I encountered this black and red rock assault ship, and it had like an absurd amount of rooms. It had 6 rooms that had no connection to the ship. We were literally just there.
Cool.
And even then, there were still other rooms that were connected to the ship who were also playing. So I'm wondering, like, what the heck is the purpose of these freaking rooms?
A diner.
A holy chapel. So
Yeah.
the box and share go to acquire.
What the hell was this quest for anyway? Oh yeah, killing pirates. Ew. Yeah, it's probably fine. Well, so the hull is once again, in between quotes, a Frankenstein created from different parts of Lanius ships.
More or less. It's mainly made from pieces of the Lanius bomber and the Lanius destroyer, or not the Lanius cruiser, I mean. And it's more or less supposed to be a in-betweeny ship between the bomber and the cruiser.
Hmm.
Though I tried to hide that somewhat.
I mean, most people won't go into. Oh my god, that artillery! Brutal. But yeah, I don't think most people will go into detail. I mean, you're just gonna go like, this looks nice, and it does. So.
Yeah, for the longest time though, the inner hull, which is near the like this dead center of the ship, I left that unshaded for so long, and it just bugged the crap out of me because it looks so flat. And not to mention the fact that the inner hull is actually from the bomber, and as people might know from the bomber, it has these two inner wings that actually take up quite a bit of space in the inner hull. So I had to try to color over them to make them, part of the inner hull. But the problem is, not only was the inner hull original one flat, but it was too obvious where those wings used to be, and it just, it made it look smaller actually because of how it looked, like how the wings are pointed in. So I had to fix that, and I think I finally managed to give it a more unique look, and not to mention a more three-dimensional look, which is a huge deal for me. It's subtle. You might not even bother to notice that detail, but it's something that I really appreciate.
Yeah. You can still see it when I'm jumping. Okay. Well, I completed all three.
Why'd you jump back? You could have made it.
Yeah, but I'm hoping for a store actually. Yeah, that's gonna go out. One downside with having no air on the ship is you can't move enemy borders around by venting. But, they're gonna die soon anyway.
Yeah, that's one unusual perk that comes with not having no air on the ship. It's just it can be somewhat beneficial if they teleport into a room that has no real importance and you do have upgraded doors, because sometimes they'll just teleport right into an empty room and they'll just get locked in there. On the other hand, though, is if they get teleported on the far end of the ship towards an important system, they're going to probably do damage before you can respond, especially if you're in the heat of battle and you can't exactly immediately respond.
Hmm.
But they will die eventually, which is the primary benefit, and that's all that really matters sometimes.
Yep. Well, I mean, unless they're Lanius as well.
Or Ghost, or actually no, AI Avatar in this case.
Yep. Surprising that not a lot of people have bothered with the Ghost crew. I mean, they were added to the game for a reason, then that got scrapped, and nobody really bothered except for Captain's Edition.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, maybe it's because they look just like humans, even though their stats are different, and they are meant to be ghosts, essentially. But again, when you start mixing supernatural stuff, people start going like, "Oh, this is starting to feel like Star Trek: The Original Series. What is this crap?"
I suppose it could be that, yeah. But there were plans. Sorry, there's not an option. There were plans for using them though, something with an actual ghost ship with the ghost avatars, but they couldn't die. And then it got scrapped. A lot of things got scrapped, and you learn about that when you start modding. I mean, same with the BP tag. It was supposed to be used for a ship builder in the game itself, which completely got scrapped as well.
Mm. Oh, yeah, there was also a scrapped layout for a Lanius C ship that actually was going to use a med bay, which I did use some of the details in the second Lanius destroyer. Although eventually I started phasing some of them out when I was like, I don't like how this looks. This room arrangement makes no sense. Why would you put the drone room next to the sensors? It makes no sense. This is ugly.
Hmm.
But then again, I mean, you can see the results of my research on the forums in the, I think it's in the Lanius Destroyer thread, where I came up with like 3 different layouts based on clues that were left behind by the creator.
Yeah, like using the room allocation to figure out the layout.
Yeah, yeah. For anybody who is actually interested in like this little subtle detail, basically room numbers, going by how Super Lumina works, are based on what rooms were placed first. So basically, they arrange from rooms placed first to last, and if you delete a room, um, it that room will actually the room's number is taken out of the list and will be reinserted once you create a new room. So like kind of makes sense of it. Say you made rooms 0 through 2, like the 0, 1, 2, all right, and you delete 1. So 0 and 2 will still be there. 1 will be reinserted if you create a new room, but it won't make a number 3 or something like that. It's basically, I guess, to keep cohesion to make the list make sense. But the thing is, the way he arranged it, all the rooms in his ship follow a certain pattern on how they're arranged. Like basically, one grid line, he sets some rooms up, and he moves down a line and makes some more rooms, and then another line, so on and so forth. So, following that pattern, I basically try to figure out how exactly these rooms with their unique systems would be placed. And the only other clue I had aside from that was manning station directions, like where a crewman will be facing when they're manning a station in a given room.
Hmm.
And the funny thing is, the only ship that doesn't follow that pattern is the Kestrel.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Just just the A or B and C layouts as well.
just the A, the B, and C follow the pattern.
Well, to all good things must come an end, and in this one, I just got destroyed by an event that did hull damage. uh, well, Gibbs are working at least. Huh? There's a plus for you.
Let me see. I want to see this. I haven't seen it just yet. Your past self is stubbornly not clicking continue. There we go. Beautiful.
So
Nice
your
glow.
delay is actually pretty good now, like 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, there you go, guys. The Reaper.
Yeah. Well, I still have some time. If you want, I could get a look at that custom event of yours.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It means I do have to get off of this and load everything up in the mod testing environment first. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, here we are. Mod testing environment. Everything has been loaded up. So this event you can find randomly in any Lanius sector, right?
Yeah, at least once per Lanius sector. Though technically, you're only really supposed to encounter it once in any given playthrough. But
And the chance of getting multiple Lanius sectors isn't that great to begin with. Alright, custom event. You arrive within a quiet area of space, but sensors soon detect a rare sight, Lanius Destroyer. Fortunately, it's not accompanied by any other ships and appears to be unaware of your presence. Barely translated chatter indicates that members of the crew are upset about something, but you cannot understand what precisely. Well, we're playing with a Lanius ship, so we should have some blue options, I'm guessing. Contact the ship. Lanius ship's captain responds to you promptly, even to your untrained eye regarding Lanius' expression. You can see a deep worrying resonating in her. She gives a basic explanation in your language. I give a warning, leave. There is much unrest, anything could happen. You notice Lanius crewmen wielding firearms and screeching at one another in the background. Tensions appear to be high amongst the crew. Get involved, because, I mean, duh. You insist on resolving the issue at hand. Captain is hesitant. She appears to be unsure of your motivations, but opens up eventually. Ship was in fleet action against a human colony. Inhabitants were killed, around many thousands for sake of harvest. There are disagreements, usually concur that the crew is divided on this act of genocide. So basically what you said, they were contemplating meaning of life beyond just merely killing humans.
beyond merely killing for sustenance, because they're going beyond their scavenger nature.
Well, focus. You're surprised as the captain is pulled aside by 2 crewmen. His higher-ranking subordinate takes the helm. He directly states in your language, "Human ship, here for revenge." I knew it. His gesturing is twitching, appearing on the verge of drastic action. He continues, "No end to this, we must go back. We cannot remedy peace." Lanius subordinate engages the destroyer's battle systems, but before fire can be exchanged, another crewman bursts onto the bridge, screeching in an untranslatable dialect. Subordinate and his allies are frozen in shock. On demand, an update from your helmsman reveals a power overflow in progress within the destroyer's reactor. The ship will be destroyed within moments if nothing is done. What will you do? Well, we got a blue option for Lanius, or Lanius. Let's go for it. Let your Lanius crewman talk to them. Your Lanius crewman steps into reason with the destroyer's crew. It states, with much romanticism, that peace can be forged between their species and Federation. They will be forgiven in due time if they are determined to change and accept other races as equals rather than obstacles. Good bit of writing. Senior crew members proofs of these statements. Tensions cool quickly, and the captain gives an order to the new arrival to prevent the disaster. A minute later, your helmsman reports the destroyer's reactor is stabilizing. For a moment of reconciliation, the captain chimes in to thank you, informing her of your mission, and she nods and states, "I will relieve 2 of my own to join you." And also got a flag gun. Is a flag, well, is the weapon a
That's
guarantee?
random.
But is it a guarantee?
No, it's not. The weapon is not a guarantee. You might even get a drone or whatever. It's part of a random reward.
So you get your basic consumables plus either weapon, drone, or augment. Or is even that just randomly?
It's pretty much random. Sometimes you don't even get anything extra. You just get the consumables.
Alright, so I just got lucky here. I got a flag gun. Alright. I've got Adele and Lelouch. Alright. They'll fit well on this entire Lanius ship, which we will use to kill more humans. Sure. Let's try a different path, and we'll try some different ships as well then, because I'm guessing there's going to be much more stuff to do.
There is a lot of options, a lot of alternating paths. I spent quite a bit of time on this. The amount of text that goes into this one event pretty much it probably is like almost like 1/10 of what Captain's Edition's event list is like.
I'm going to get some things up because I'm going to fight this thing as well at some point. Get some resources, loads of money. Nothing. Equipment.
For system recommendations, I would probably recommend, let's see, you have 3 slots. So get a teleporter, but don't upgrade it. And get a you can get hacking module, but I upgrade that to level 2. And just to get more crew, to get more options, you should probably get oxygen too.
Well, I'm just gonna load up some different ships.
Alright.
Probably try the what's the Shrike after this one. Slot 1, which starts off with mind control and a teleporter. Contact. Get involved. Continue. Leave them for dead. You order the helmsman to punch it and get out of range before the ship explodes. However, the subordinate is not so willing to let you escape. Whether out of confused rage or pure malice, he pilots the destroyer or on an intercept course with weapons hot. Get ready. Alright, so we get to shoot. And the FTL charging. The destroyer's reactor is going critical. Your helmsman estimates it will blow up in 30 seconds if nothing is done to stop it. This is going to be great because my weapon only charges in 16 seconds. In the most dire of circumstances, you receive a hail from a secure channel or originating in the destroyer. Upon opening frequencies, the sender wasting time submitting as best as they can. Please don't want to die. Will assist. You can easily gather their offerings. Their service in exchange for their rescue, but time is short. Only option: close the channel.
I have no time for this shit.
How about no? Alright, artillery. Is it the same one that I'm currently carrying?
Yes.
Alright, easy enough.
Fortunately, you have the shields to weather it, and they are only armed with a puny basic laser.
Yeah, but I'm guessing you're gonna take a good amount of hull damage when it manages to blow itself up.
If it does.
Yeah. Okay.
For the most part, though, if you were to encounter this in a much later sector, this ship would have capabilities rivaling you if you were to play as the Reaper. Technically, this is a paradox.
Oh, never shy away from those. Alright. Now the big thing is, will there be a surrender option? Doesn't look like it. Either that or it's just a chance for it to surrender. Alright, what do we get? Ship explodes, shooting out debris and scrap, ending the crew's suffering. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go through one more, then we're gonna switch ship and see what happens then. Load custom, slot 1. Let's attack it for this time. Move in weapon charging, and this gets the attention of the destroyer. Within moments, you are hailed by its captain, who in a panic nearly shouts in translated hysteric, "Stop, we mean no harm, cease, please." Attack the ship anyway, because I'm guessing taking get involved is just gonna load back into what we've already seen.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Spider P, please, you continue on an attack vector before the channel is cut. However, you witness the Lanius captain murdered in cold blood by subordinate whose screeches are barely comprehensible. All a mistake, weakling, worthless. Before signing off to presumably take command and engage in combat. Prepare to... Yep, and again, just the basic laser. But this time, instead of cloaking, it has mind control.
Mind control, of course. Mind control is always fun to deal with.
Yeah, but it's countered by a multitude of systems. That's why hacking got so much better. I mean, hacking on the flagship... Ooh, I missed something. Ooh. Oh no, we've seen this.
Yes.
Now it's suffering surrender, or is that... Amidst the combat, you receive small hail from a secure channel originating destroyer, opening frequencies. The sender is quick to get to the point, translating as best as they can. Save me, will assist, please. You assume they are... No, we've seen this already. Is this the surrender thing then?
No, actually, this activates when it's trying to escape.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, escaping and surrendering is basically the same thing then.
Not exactly. The escape and surrendering are two completely different things.
Can a ship do both?
Yeah, you've encountered ships before where they're like trying to escape and you damage them enough and then they offer surrender. Which remember last time, about 10 minutes ago, where that one ship was almost about to escape, but then you made them get into a surrender and you're like, I'll accept this one.
Oh yeah, okay.
However, for this, you do need a teleporter. So unfortunately,
yeah,
that person will not be saved.
I'll start with the Shrike. Actually, we can do that right now. I'm guessing it's just going to end the same way as the previous combat.
If you want something a bit more interesting, then I would probably recommend going for an NG or a level 2 hacking module and taking it from there. I would also recommend getting a teleporter, most definitely. The teleporter is probably going to be your best asset in this event.
Well, I'll do one with the Slug C, which has mind control and hacking.
All right.
See where that takes us. Okay. First things first, we need to go shopping. Upgrading hacking won't change anything. I'm guessing there's no special things to that.
What now?
Upgrading hacking won't be a problem. Like, I'm not going to miss out on anything.
If you don't upgrade hacking, it won't be strong enough to be a blue option, essentially.
Alright, we'll do both of those then. After that, we're going to do one with a teleporter and then we'll cut it here. We don't want to spoil anything, right? Don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah.
Get involved. Continue. Ooh. Offer leniency. You offer to save the crew regardless of their actions. The subordinate decides to believe in you and en masse. The destroyer's crew leaps from an airlock in the direction of your ship. You're able to secure them in the nick of time as their ship explodes. They agree to be dropped off at a station, with the exception of the subordinate who offers you your crew. I have much to absolve. Alright.
You just got one of the more rare crewmen from this ship. There's only 2 ways you can get him, and both of them are by chance, really.
I'm guessing the names are references to something. I remember a few of them.
Fine. Although Lelouch is actually a reference to the character from Code Geass.
Great series. Let me just get some more camp. Stop pushing wrong buttons.
Go ahead and buy. Actually, you're probably gonna need more money first. I would probably I would recommend getting the NG. The NG is probably like my favorite blue event for the event, just because of like the variety of things that can go on.
And I got a teleporter as well now.
Perfect.
There was an engine somewhere in here, right?
There was one at the previous store.
Rockman.
Rocket load.
I got plenty of time to... Ooh, someone's dying. Probably because he's in the same room as my Lanius. Right, got an NG. You go stand over there. You can be in the oxygen room. Alright, power. Alright, let's give it another go. Load custom, slot 1, contact, get involved, continue. There we go. All those blue options. Allow your NG to remotely access their systems. Your NG crew member is able to hack into and override security protocols dictating the power overflow, preventing the ship's destruction. While this captain no longer has leverage to threaten him. Ugh. It's important to re-engage the battle systems. You are sure he is ready to give the order for execution. You have seconds to act. Alright, we're going to start off with level 1 teleporter then. Rescue the captain. The teleporter is not efficient enough to fully recharge before your crew men suffocates. You're going to need a plan B to make up for the setback. Send someone to rescue the captain anyway, or send your Lanius crewman. We'll start with Lanius then. You know your Lanius crewman will have no issues with the lack of atmosphere. You send it alone to rescue the captain and succeeds with use flashbangs and beam off with the captain just as the crew comes to. Subordinate does not entertain the idea of an empty threat and immediately cuts the channel. Destroyer then rushes at you with weapon hots. Prepare yourself. Alright. Your NG crewman attempts to disrupt one of the destroyer's systems but is disconnected before it can achieve this. You will have to face the destroyer at full power.
Well, well, how unlucky. Yeah, full power. Yeah, that beam looks so menacing.
Beam? Oh. Yeah.
It's a teeny beam on that big ass ship.
Is there something special when you kill the crew?
Not exactly. I mean, it changes the context of the text, like it changes what's said, but you don't really get a special reward if you kill the crew aside from the usual higher bonus from killing the crew.
We're just gonna leave them then and give it another go. Load slot 1, contact, get involved, continue. We can use a teleporter straight away, so the NG is just something extra you can do?
Yeah, the NG basically the NG can stop the destroyer from being destroyed. If you use the teleporter right away, then you basically rescue the captain, and the ship is destroyed anyway. It cuts out some different rewards. It may not be as beneficial.
Alright,
per se.
NG then. Teleporter, rescue the captain. Send someone to rescue the captain enemy. If this is gonna kill my Lanius, that's gonna be great.
Yes.
No longer risks you send a crew member over to rescue the captain anyway. Unfortunately, they begin to violently convulse, resulting in a clumsy attempt to incapacitate the mutinous Lanius crew. In a weakened state, the crew is able to delay your... In a weakened state, the crew is able to delay your crewmen until they eventually succumb to asphyxiation. Soon after, the captain is executed with a headshot right before your eyes. The channel is then cut and the destroyer beams down upon you. Get ready. Crewman emerges from the clone bay.
A missile. Shit's getting real.
The crew member emerges from the cloning bay and cloaks their exact feelings about being sent into a death trap for a stranger. Your NG crewman manages to capsize the destroyer's reactor before it is disconnected. Their power output has been reduced. Well, I didn't come here to get shot up, so we're going to stop at that. Right, so is there a different outcome for that?
If you send them in, send in a random crewman.
Yeah. Does he always die in a failure, or is like, you got
there's a chance they can succeed. And there's also a certain a second event that occurs if you manage to save the captain, but you're initiated in combat anyway,
Mhm.
which you kind of skipped out on when you jumped away immediately from combat before you damaged the ship enough. But then again, that's all up to you if you want to
But
show that. Or
I didn't save the captain.
no, that time you didn't, but the time before that you did
Oh,
with your
well,
Lanius.
that's something for someone else then. All right, next option: brainwash him to release the captain. Under new suggestion, the subordinate once again disengages the battle systems and orders the release of the captain. However, the effect soon wears off, and he, gaining his bearings, angrily kills the captain himself. His allies move off to coerce the rest of the crew. The channel is cut, and the destroyer soon roars to life. Weapons out to prepare yourself. When your crew manages to step aside the destroyer's engines before it's disconnected, their evasive capabilities has been reduced, however little.
Well,
Hey,
in
now
this
he's got
case,
2 beams. Look at that.
two beams, double beam.
Just like that ship from Kestrel Adventures.
Yeah,
Um,
that's perfect. Yeah, I can imagine the captain of this ship. No, the subordinate is basically acting just like that blonde-haired dude. Fire the beam.
and I got the others, the other people in there. I mean, this man has 3 shields. We got 2 beams. Do you really think engaging it would be a good idea?
No, then again, he's not exactly senile. Or no, he is a senile. What am I saying?
Now that I'm here, is there something for hacking?
Yeah, hacking is essentially the same as NG, except you don't get the benefit of disabling some power from one of those systems and whatnot. It's basically not as effective as NG, but then again, it's not like you're always going to have an NG, so
Hmm.
then it's just an extra option to have around.
But where does the blue option pop up?
Well, the thing is, you only have level 1 hacking. You need level 2.
Ah, alright, leave them for dead. We've seen this. I really couldn't care. Oh, I couldn't do anything there either. Might have clicked a bit too soon through that.
Oh wait, he chased you down.
Yeah, again.
Oh yeah, actually, well, in that case, you have to think about it like this: you only have 30 seconds, and he's engaging you in combat, and he says time is short. What do you think that implies? Even if you have a teleporter.
Jump imminent. Ooh, I'm gonna see what happens when he gets away.
All right, yeah, just go ahead and let him get away. Just let him just
A
do
blinding
this.
light obscures the view screen. The destroyer explodes, sending debris flying far and wide. Your ship does the sweep of the area for scrap metal. You cannot help but feel rather disposed of the Lanius and prepare to move on. I would have expected some hull damage there.
Well, that's actually a possibility. But the
Ah,
other, a more positive one, although not nearly as good. I mean, the thing is, you're getting piss poor resources for this if you let the ship blow up like that. Or worst scenario, you take a fair bit of damage if it blows up. But I suppose it would have. I mean, I guess I could redo that if people go like, "Oh, this is so easy, ugh. I'm just breaking the tension all over with a sickening crack."
Alright, improved hacking. Reverse the power overflow. A hacking module is deployed whereupon it attaches itself to destroy the central hull. The module successfully overrides the security protocols dictating the power overflow and prevents the ship's destruction. Revealing that this captain no longer has leverage, blah blah. Rescue the captain. I've seen Lanius. Let's try sending someone random again. Knowing the rescue, send a crew member over. Unfortunately, yeah, the same thing. Okay.
I assure you, it is possible for them to survive. Don't worry. You're just getting really unlucky.
Oh yeah, I'm used to that. Oh, now they got a teleporter. They're actually gonna start putting up a fight.
And they have mind control and cloaking device. They are going all out now.
If we can't beat you with weapons, we'll beat you with systems.
I've never seen a teleporter on the Slug Sea before. Now that I think about it.
Oh, we killed him. See if we can go for a crew death here. Oh, they got a clone bay though.
Indeed.
That's probably a no then. Is there anything more specific you want me to have a look at in this event, or are we gonna just leave the rest of the possible outcomes for anyone who plays?
Let's see. You've done the NG tree, done the hacking tree. I don't think you've saved the crewmen during the battle in the cases where the ship's going to blow up indefinitely. But you've shown a fair bit. So if you don't want to show any more, like not even just one more, we can go ahead and leave it here.
It's not that. It's just like maybe you just want not everything to be spoiled.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one thing that might be intriguing to the people, and something that that doesn't go too far into spoil territory. Actually, I guess in this case, go ahead and save the captain. Like use the hacking or the NG, save the captain, but try to get the ship to go into surrender, and that'll be the last thing to show.
Okay.
To show just how far this rabbit hole goes. I mean, there's still plenty of other options that haven't been exploited yet, so there's still a fair amount for other people to explore.
Alright, so use the NG, fight them, and then try and save the captain.
Yeah.
Contact, get involved, continue. NG, continue. I need to fight them first, right?
If you do fight first, the captain will die immediately.
Alright, so I'm now at do nothing, use mind control to bring Hashem or teleport to rescue the captain. So you want me to rescue the captain with the teleporter, alright?
Yeah.
Send your Lanius crewman. Your Lanius crewman will have no issues, blah blah blah. Succeed with the okay. Current crew members disconnected for full power, alright? And a missile launcher and a teleporter. Alrighty then. You know what, I don't have to deal with this BS right now.
Man, that energy just does not have does not want to put in the 110%.
I got a retarded NG.
I almost thought you sent your Lanius boarding party and then locked them in.
No. Come on, surrender. You know you're done for.
There is one thing to keep in mind. There's a chance that it won't happen, but the chance is smaller than the fact that it might. So, we'll see.
Yep, there it is. After much persuasion through secure comlink by the Lanius captain, Support hails you. I offer surrender, we will cease. The Lanius captain is hopeful for an end to hostilities, but it is up to you to decide. Accept the surrender. Power down the weapons and the destroyer follows suit, ending the battle. Subordinate apologizes, struggling to translate. I can't believe, despite me, you have spared us. I thank you. You assure him to make no further mention of it, and so he goes on to ask for his captain's return. Lanius captain decides to return to her command. In gratitude for your actions, she has a moderate amount of scrap material and volunteering. Lanius crewman sent over. Farewells are exchanged and you prepare to move on. And there goes a missile. Cool. Alright, so a really big event with probably lots of writing to it. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to coming across it, and basically it is meant to be a bit of a story. Maybe not be the most sophisticated, maybe a bit preachy, but then again, what can you expect? I mean, it's not. If I really wanted to drone you out in novelization, I would.
FTL is all about creating one's own story, so you know.
It's a start.
So we're gonna cut the Raptor here then, along with the custom event, which can be found in Lanius sectors. Right then, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're still enjoying the series. Feel free to show support by commenting, liking, and or subbing if you haven't already. Federation Scum, thank you for joining me on this one.
No problem.
I will be seeing you guys on the next episode, which will be the next one of the Lanius Destroyers. Bye everyone.